Slow progress feels identical to no progress. That's where you quit. Not at the wall, before the wall. When everything looks the same as last month and last week and yesterday, and you start to wonder whether the direction was wrong from the very beginning, so you pivot, you rebuild, you start cleaner. New system, new strategy, new version of yourself, which is always slightly more impressive than the one you abandoned last spring. In 1834, at the age of 75, Hokusai wrote in the margin of one of his prints, "I have drawn since I was 6, but nothing I made before 70 was worth anything. At 100, every line will be alive." He died at 88, still apologizing for being slow. The turtle has never apologized for anything. It looks like a rock with legs. It moves at 1/3 of a mile per hour on land. On the surface of the ocean, only slightly faster. To a human nervous system trained on dopamine, it looks asleep. It looks resigned. It looks like the exact thing you are afraid of becoming. But the leatherback sea turtle holds its breath for 85 minutes at a stretch. It dives nearly 4,000 feet into pressure that would collapse most engineered submarines. It crosses 11,000 miles of open ocean and returns to the exact beach where it was born, without a map, without a satellite, without ever surfacing to check the horizon. It does this because the architecture of its skull was built to read the magnetic field of the planet. The shell on its back is not luggage, it is its ribs and vertebrae fused outward into a single living wall. The turtle has existed on this planet for 230 million years. It survived the extinction event that erased the dinosaurs. It is still here, in essentially the same form it has always held. No reinvention, no pivot, no new strategy every 6 weeks. It didn't survive by being fast. It didn't survive by being strong. It survived by being exactly what it was without apology, for longer than most species were given to exist at all. What does it know about consistency that you forgot you knew? Lesson 1. You think your identity is something you wear. You change your job, your routine, your aesthetic, your morning rituals, your circle of friends, your version of ambition, and you call it growth. The turtle's shell is not a wardrobe choice. It is fused to its spine, structurally, neurologically, irreversibly. Cut through the shell and you cut through the animal because the shell is the animal. It cannot leave. It cannot trade its design for a faster one. It can only be what it was made to be, more deeply, for another century. This is why turtles do not outrun their predators. They outlast them. The shark eventually dies, the seabird eventually dies. The empire that named the turtle eventually dies. The turtle is still walking. What would you stop abandoning if you understood it was your spine? Lesson 2. The turtle does not fight the current. When it dives into the dark levels of the ocean, it does not paddle harder. It folds itself into the pressure. It allows the weight of the water, the same weight that crushes hulls, to become a vehicle. Its metabolism drops. Its heart slows to nearly a beat a minute. It moves only when the movement is worth the breath. You treat your energy like a budget designed to be overspent. You confuse agitation with action. You answer every message, react to every headline, defend yourself against people whose names you will not remember in 6 months, and you call this engagement. The turtle is in conversation with the ocean. You are in conversation with the alarm. Why are you swimming so hard against a tide that was built to carry you? Lesson 3. You keep apologizing for being slow. The turtle takes 30 years to reach maturity. The dinosaurs also thought it was slow. They're gone. Lesson 4. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, by candlelight, inside a campaign tent on the edge of a war he did not want to be fighting. He returned to the same instruction across years and notebooks, that he was made for the work in front of him, the way the hand was made for grasping, the way the eyelid was made for closing. The Stoics had a word for it, ascesis, identity refined through daily repetition until the decision disappears and only the action remains. The turtle has no word for ascesis. It has no journal. It has never written a private letter to itself, reminding itself to be a turtle in the morning. The question is not whether you have enough discipline today. The question is whether your consistency has become part of what you are, or whether it still requires a vote every morning. Lesson 5. The turtle does not burn bright, it burns long. Its low metabolism is not laziness, it is the elimination of leaks. Most of what you produce in a day is leakage. Performances of being busy, announcements of pivots, updates broadcast to people who will not remember, signals sent so that someone somewhere will confirm that you are still here. The turtle never announced it was still here, it just was. Every unnecessary output is a leak. Consistency is not doing more. It is closing the leaks one by one, until what remains is the work, breathing quietly, lasting longer than the people who said it would never amount to anything. Look at what the turtle is. A shell fused to a spine, a compass written into the skull, a metabolism calibrated to survive the death of dinosaurs, a pace tuned to outlast empires, a return path encoded into the body before the body ever entered the water. Every single component points in the same direction, not toward speed, not toward spectacle, toward duration, toward the capacity to keep existing when everything around it cannot. And here is the question the turtle quietly leaves on the sand. If a system this precise, bone, magnetism, lung, shell, instinct, time, arrived through nothing but accident and accumulated chance, what is the alternative? The alternative is not simply not an accident. The alternative is intention. A thing arranged this carefully, fitted to this world this exactly, surviving this much, was not negotiated by randomness. It was specified. It was meant. The turtle does not need to ask who specified it. The turtle is too busy being specified. You are the only animal on this beach capable of asking, and if there is intention in the turtle, in the slow shell, in the long breath, in the inherited map, what does that mean for the slow thing you keep abandoning inside yourself? The one you started building before you knew what it was, the one you keep apologizing for, the one you keep rebuilding from scratch because it has not yet announced itself. Some things are not slow because they are failing. Some things were built to last. Most things were not. There is a turtle somewhere right now crossing a beach it cannot fully see, toward a tide it cannot fully feel, toward eggs it will not stay long enough to meet. It will not look impressive doing it. It will not look fast. It will not look like it is winning, but it will finish. And the only people still watching when it does will not remember the pace. They will remember that it arrived. You have been building something, longer than anyone has noticed, longer than it has felt like it counted. The turtle doesn't know when the shore will appear. It only knows it is still the right direction,